Welcome to PlayPSVR, the podcast, episode 70. It is the year 2070, and we have messages from the future. In the future, it turns out that Batman has no penis. And in the future, it also turns out that Batman is Adam Stewart. Adam, are you with me, buddy?
I am here. I am Robot Adam 2070.
Oh, so that's why you have no wiener. It's because you're a robot. Okay, that's a nice way to turn it around. Adam, how you doing today, man? I feel, it's only been a week since the last podcast, but I had like a month where I didn't podcast with you, and I miss you, man. I miss you.
So, gamer juices for tonight. I got one. I tried to stop at a gas station and get something real quick. Watermelon Punch Minute Maid, 3% juice. Too many calories for 70 grams of sugar. You kidding me, dog? But I will admit it's pretty good, pretty refreshing. It's nice and light. That's really all I gotta say about it.
So you got a watermelon flavored drink, Adam? Did we talk? I just let the listeners know. Did we talk about this beforehand?
We did not.
We did not, because I went to Walgreens. That's right. Come and go is out of the picture for the time being. Went to Walgreens.
F you,
got myself a Rain Total Body Fuel. Don't know why it's body fuel, because there are 0 calories, meaning there's absolutely zero fuel for me. It's an energy drink, I'm guessing. The flavor, Melon Mania, baby. Adam, this is a melon podcast. After episode 69, we have a podcast full of melons. Does that get you going?
I mean, that could be a cantaloupe. It could be a...
I don't know. I'm a fan of melons.
Well, what can I say?
And there's melons all in my mouth.
Honeydew?
Mm.
Those were good sips. That dead air you guys just heard, we both took simultaneous sips. That was good.
I did a little motorboat before. Okay, Adam, that's the game of juice. Let's get into the reviews of the games. Just what the listeners want to hear, PSVR-related content. Adam, you going to hit us up first with our Power A Play of the Week?
It is Telefrag. And let me tell you what, I've got mixed feelings about this game because the game, ultimately, it's multiplayer. You can play with bots, but you play online, and it's simply a 1v1 shooter. But
okay,
the thing is,
let me ask some questions. Let's get this conversation going.
I'm going to tell you what it's about.
I know, of course. Telefrag VR, put out by Anshar Studios, the people that we love for Detached, and that we kind of, they did that Heavy Rain Assault game or whatever it was called. That wasn't so great. They helped out with it. It's $24.99. We had a review code generously given to us by the developers. Adam, number one, what is Telefrag VR about?
Speaking of this also, Alex didn't even mention it. In our second segment, we're doing somewhat of an odd interview, but because they're from across the pond, we weren't really able to get our schedules to match up. But we are interviewing them. It's kind of a written interview, and we're just going to answer their questions, or I guess read their answers to our questions and go from there. So if you don't like what we're saying now, just stay tuned until the second segment, because we're going to be interviewing them. Second, your question, Alex. A game, as I mentioned before you so rudely interrupted, is that it's 1v1 multiplayer. But the thing about it is it's pretty cool because, first of all, Telefrag, if you play Doom VFR, this is what reminded me of it. I guess Telefrag is a thing because it was also called the same thing in Doom VFR, where if you teleport into an enemy, it essentially immediately destroys them, and you're Telefrag, and it's cool, and you get a lot of points, and you get a lot of trophies, and you reign supreme. So there's that aspect of the game, along with the guns, and each gun has its own special abilities and attacks, different ways of teleporting, but also there are teleporters all throughout the levels that make it a very fun game. It's very quick, and so you go in one teleporter, you just end up somewhere, and then you can kind of jump and teleport on different walls. And I mean, it's really fun to move around. It's very fast paced. You can turn the snap controls off to smooth locomotion. That's fun. It's quick. The gameplay is really fun. I actually really enjoyed the gameplay.
So, okay. Is this a 0G game? Are you floating in space or something like that, or are you running in place?
No, you are. I mean, you aren't necessarily running in place because you can run, but you're also teleporting. So it's like you're on one strip of land, and maybe you see an enemy or something. You want to be stealthy, so you teleport up above you on the ceiling. That way you could look down at them and shoot, kind of surprise them. And also, if you're trying to run away, you can teleport to different walls and different platforms in the different teleporters. It really is a hectic, fast-paced 1v1 shooter. And
So
it's really fun.
So when you teleport on the ceiling, does that change your gravity, like your frame of reference? Are you now is down now up when you do that?
No. It is what well, see, it all depends on your frame of reference.
So
it's very intuitive.
Will it look like somebody's walking on the ceiling?
I mean, if that person looked up, yeah, I would be on the ceiling.
Okay.
However, me, the person who is now on the ceiling, it's as if I'm just standing on a normal floor. Yeah.
Well, of course, Adam. Of course.
I don't know what the heck you're asking. I don't know what you want from me.
I'm wondering if it's like a mind-bending type thing. This happened in Transpose, which you refused to play. That's why you have no idea what I'm talking about.
If it would ever go on sale.
I gave you the money to... Anyways, we're getting sidetracked. Adam, how do you control this game? What controllers do you use?
Okay, so I need to thank VR Grid here, because originally I used Move controllers exclusively. I was like, it's more immersive. It's going to be better. You have two guns for two hands, so you're going to be better by having two hands and being able to shoot in different ways. It'll be easier. However, on the Golden Stream this week, a VR Grid just begged me to try the DualShock, so I finally did. Found out that I am much better with the DualShock. DualShock's a little easier to move. It's a lot faster to shoot and to aim and to teleport. So although you do lose some immersion with the DualShock, I find that I am much better at the game with the DualShock than I am with the Move controllers. But both are pretty intuitive. The DualShock is perfect. The controls are exactly where and how you would want them. The Move controllers take a little while to get used to because, again, all four of those buttons on the Move controller face do something unique. And so you just kind of have to orient yourself with those and really learn that before you can really manipulate your character in the game.
All right, so I'm looking at some video of the game right now, and it looks pretty smooth. Adam, what's a gameplay loop? You said it's 1v1. Is it deathmatch? Is there like another goal here, like capture the flag or anything like that, or is it just straight up shoot another dude?
Yeah, that starts to. I only have two, I guess maybe you could say three complaints about the game, and that starts to lead into one of them. So it is 1v1. You can play against you and another person online, or you can play against a bot. So it is only 1v1. You go, and the first person to 3 kills wins. So how you enter the stadium, and I call it stadium, whatever it is, level, and there are up to 4 rounds, or I guess 5 rounds, 6 rounds, whatever. So it's like round 1, you go, someone dies, and then it kind of resets round 2, and then you go at it again, and the first person to 3 wins and 3 kills wins the game. And along the way, I mean, there's a little power boosters and health and armor, things of that nature too. So a pretty easy game conceptually, not too difficult, pretty straightforward. They didn't need to overthink it. They didn't overthink it. However, that leads into my first complaint and the fact that it is only 1v1. I kind of got used to Space Junkies where it was, 2v2. It would be nice to have either another game mode. That's my first complaint. It needs more game modes. 1v1 is okay. It's fun, like if you or I had to jump on there, Alex, and play around, we can talk to each other and shoot each other. But the thing is, 1v1 gets a little stale quicker than games with many people. That's why Honor of Duty was so fun. Because Honor of Duty, although not technically as gifted and great as Telefrag is, every second there was someone shooting at you or someone that you could shoot. Here, I mean, I went 40 seconds without finding my guy because, we're both running around trying to find each other. We may not just run across each other. The levels are big, so it would be nice to have more than one person to fight, whether that is a team deathmatch, whether it is a free-for-all. There are no other game modes, and so that would be my first complaint. And something I think that limits the game.
Okay, so Adam, I'm trying to figure out if you were even the target gamer here. Did you ever play the old school games like Quake, Quake 3 Arena, Unreal Tournament, things like that?
You know the answer to that.
You have not. You did not play those. You're surprised to learn what a telefrag is. Okay, here's a good question. The game's called Telefrag. Is that the main way you kill people is by teleporting into them, or do you mainly kill them by shooting them?
Well, see, that's all part of the strategy. The thing is, the farther away you are, and you could shoot them, obviously, but it's harder for them to telefrag you. However, you could grow a set of nuts, and you could go after them like a man, and you could shoot freaking wildly and blindly, and then randomly telefrag until you get them. Most of my kills are probably telefrag, and I mean, I've gotten a butt ton of trophies.
I'm trying to figure out what you mean by telefrag here. Do you have a gun that teleports you, or are they just happening to be standing on an area on the ground and you teleport to that platform or something? Usually in like Quake 3 Arena, when you teleport, you go from one platform to another. It's a designated teleporter area. Are you getting these kills because somebody's just standing in that teleporter area?
No.
Okay.
It's like Doom VFR.
So you are aiming your teleportation to hit them, and you teleport into them, and it frags them.
My timing is impeccable.
Okay.
Yes.
Your tiny timer is impeccable. Okay.
That's right. My tiny timer is impeccable. Okay. So before we go, I'm just going to go ahead and mention. So first of all, that's the first thing. Those are that's two complaints kind of wrapped in one. No different game modes, and it's only 1v1. And then right off the bat, I mean, I gotta admit, the game is blurry. Detached was beautiful and clear, and this is just, the worlds are cool, but it really is. It's blurry. There was even a pro patch, and honestly, I can't really tell the difference between the pro patch and before there was a pro patch. So that's a little disappointing. I know it has to be a high frame rate because I'm telling you, like, you are moving fast. It's essentially Doom VFR, but 1v1. It really feels like Doom VFR, which is a good thing. And so I don't know if that is part of the reason why the graphics are a little blurry, or maybe. And the good thing is all these things can be fixed with patches. They could come out with another patch that betters blurriness. They could come out with another patch for multiplayer or different game modes, or new skins to unlock, or new guns to unlock. So all this is patchable, which is better than having a game that just straight up isn't good. However, those are definitely some limiting things about the game.
Okay, so before we get into the last question, Adam, did you have a hard time finding people to play with online?
Yeah, so the first night I played on Tuesday, the night the game came out, I couldn't find anybody. So I had to play with bots. The Golden Stream, I was able to find one person to play with, and we just played with each other. Oh, we played with each other for at least an hour, and it was real good. I think I got the upper hand on him a little bit. He got me a couple games for sure, but you can't talk to them. So really, like, it doesn't matter whether it's a bot or a real person. The bots have different levels of difficulty. So if you do like a hard or extreme bot level versus a human, you can't tell the difference really. Other than maybe a human's actually a little easier. You get the satisfaction of knowing you killed a human and not just a robot. But yeah, so I've had like 50-50, honestly, between being able to find someone and not. And that next segment, I'll have a question about that. But so far, I'm happy with my answer there.
Okay, so Adam, last question. $24.99, is this buy, wait for a sale, or avoid forever?
See, this is tough because I really do enjoy the gameplay. I love fast gameplay. I love unique ideas. All that Telefrag meets all those criteria. However, until there's a patch that includes new game modes, more than 1v1, those really are the two big things. The blurriness, we're used to blurry in PSVR, so I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, geez, look at Invisible Hours. Alex loves it. It looks like you're staring inside of a freaking paper bag. So I would say at this moment, I would wait for a sale. I would wait till it hit probably $15 and then buy it. if they add a patch that adds some more game modes, some progression, something else to the table, then I think it would be a game for full price. But right now, just with what they have, I would say wait for a sale.
This is kind of a shame because it reminds me of Mini Mac Mayhem, where it's a really good game, a really fun game, a really quality game that requires multiplayer to be successful. And then it's priced at a point where people aren't just going to pick it up on a whim. And so it's like it didn't even have a chance to get going right out of the gate. So hopefully they drop the price. Maybe they'll get a resurgence like Space Junkie. They give out a free demo or something, or they lower the price to something like $9.99, or maybe do an update to add 2v2, something like that. The game looks really good. I'm happy with what Anshar does, as a studio. So I don't know. I'm hoping for the best for him here. I'm hoping for the best for him here in the future.
Me too. And a game that, as we progress here, that I'm going to be interested in your thoughts, because I'm not going to lie. I don't remember if I said it last week, but I thought Copper Canyon Shootout was just going to be a standard wave shooting Western. I was not very excited for it. So, of course, it ends up that we gave it to you because I was covering Telefrag, and then boom, ends up probably being good. So how about you tell me a little about Copper Canyon Shootout and whether it's worth me buying this bad boy.
All right, so Copper Canyon Shootout, not Silver Canyon Shootout, as Adam told me
what
it was
did I
called.
say?
You called it Silver Canyon Shootout like 8 times when I was talking to you before. I thought that's the name of the game. I tried to find it on the PlayStation Store, and I couldn't find it. It's Copper Canyon Shootout.
And copper. You can make copper out of silver.
That's the sequel that's going to be coming later down the road. Copper Canyon Shootout from Black Dragon Studios. They generously provided a code for us, so thank you very much. It is $9.99 on the American PlayStation Store.
That's a good price.
That is a good price. I don't know anything about
this game, but I like that price right off the bat. It's going to be a game that I'm like, even if I'm on the fence, that's a price where I might pull the trigger.
It's a smart move. Yeah, it's a smart move on their part. So you want to ask questions? You want me to just get into it, man?
Yeah, okay. For the first, is it really I'm not even going to be honest. So I watched some preview footage, but is it a wave shooting Western?
That's I don't know why they sold it as that. They sell it as this kind of a wave shooter, but really it's more like a first-person shooter. So the way the game plays is you are moving through these levels and you come to an area and then you have to fight a wave of enemies. But then you continue moving through the level. So when you think of a wave shooter, when I think of a wave shooter, I usually think of somewhere where I'm stationary and then I'm defending my position against a wave of enemies. But in this game, you're not stationary. You can teleport. There's teleport motion, and you move around an area. Of course, it's walled off, but just like in Doom or something where the doors close until you kill all the enemies.
It sounds like Arizona Sunshine.
To a degree. So you're moving. It's not as big a levels as that, but you move through an environment. It's like a Western environment. So you're in a back alleyway between 2 different saloons, and there's barrels knocked over and stuff like that. And these enemies come at you in waves. They kind of generate and come at you in waves. They're all robots, but they're like Western-themed robots, and they seem kind of kooky.
Are the graphics kind of I don't want to say cartoonish, but something like Cold Iron or something that's not really that serious?
Yeah, it's really not that serious. The graphics look good. It's cartoonish. It's got a stylish cartoon style to it. The whole point is you have these Western robots attacking you. I don't even know if there's a story to it. I don't recall a story being told to me in any capacity. I'm in this Western environment, and there's these robots shooting at me, and you have 2 guns, and you just shoot the robots. You can shoot their arms off, you can shoot their heads off, you can shoot their bellies and make them explode, and then you basically have these enemies coming at you. There's a little bit of enemy variety. Some robots will hide behind cover, and you got to try to shoot them that way. Some robots will be able to snipe you, and so you got to try to catch them before they can snipe you. Some robots are just kind of like wild cards, and they're just spinning around shooting in all directions, and some are kamikaze robots coming at you trying to blow up. But it's a really hectic pace that this game keeps, and you just shoot through the enemies and collect points and then clear the area and then move forward and go to the next area and then shoot another couple waves of enemies until you get to the final open environment, and there's a boss fight. And the boss fight's not anything grand or special. It's actually really, really simple and really, really easy, oddly enough. But yeah, it's not a wave shooter like The Walker or like Pixel Gear or something like that where you're just not moving. This is really simple first-person shooter levels.
Did you ever watch me play Hop Along the Badland?
I didn't, but I feel like it might be a similar game. I saw a little bit of footage of that.
Because in one hand you have your stupid little stick horse, and you gotta move, because remember I
Yeah.
was talking about look like me jerking,
Yep.
and the other hand, you like moved along levels and shot. That game though is not good. And so here's the thing that I don't quite understand, or what I'm confused about. It does not sound like a game that it sounds like it would be an average game, but yeah, I can tell by the inflection, by your words, that it seems like you're happy to talk about it as if you enjoyed yourself. So one, I guess, is that correct? And two, what separates it and makes it fun?
Okay, yeah, you're right. It doesn't sound that special. It's move controls, it's teleport only. There's not really any turning to be had. The way you move is you teleport and you rotate the controller a little bit to change where you're going to be facing when you actually teleport. But yeah, the gameplay mechanics are very simple. It's nothing we haven't seen before. There are two gun types. There's a pistol and there's a shotgun. And the way you reload is you just bring them down to your waist to bring it back up and you shoot the enemies. Now, the reason that I'm so happy about playing this game, the reason I enjoyed it so much is it has this thing that a lot of these VR games with combat just seems to miss, like The Wizards and Mage's Tale. You would hit an enemy and there'd be no impact, man. You wouldn't feel it. It's like you'd hit an enemy and it would be like a second delay and then there would be some kind of death animation. But in this game, when I shoot an enemy and I blast their arm off or I blast their head off, I feel that hit. There's a tactile feeling in the combat, in the shooting here, and that really enhances the experience. You get more points when you dismantle the enemies instead of just blasting the enemies. You get more points if you pick off both their hands and then their head and then shoot them in the belly. And so you're incentivized to do that. And in doing that, you really embrace the fun that this game provides, for me at least, in that tactile feel. The combat feels good. It's not just like flat shooting, flat impact. There's a real impact there that you're feeling in a virtual reality game, which sadly enough is rare in VR games.
Okay, nice. So I'm assuming this is a move controller type of game.
Yeah, only move controllers. I didn't see any options to use DualShock or anything. And that's what you want, man. You're holding two pistols and you're shooting in many directions at many times.
Okay, so I'm assuming hopefully tracking, since it is a shooter, tracking must be accurate. Is that all right? Any weird things with tracking?
So the tracking, I didn't even think about it. The tracking was great. It was spot on. Maybe the only weird thing, and I think it might have just been the way I was playing, was the reload. You have to drop your hands to your side or something like that. I don't know if you have to shake your hands down hard or just put your hands all the way down by your waist and bring it back up to reload. But I had a hard time getting my right move controller to reload sometimes. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe my gun was overheating and I didn't know it, but I was in the heat of the moment. I was shooting guys and I needed to get my shotgun reloaded and it wasn't reloading and I would die because of it. So I don't know if that was a tracking issue. It didn't feel like a tracking issue. I always seemed to be aiming where I wanted to aim. So yeah, everything was really, really surprisingly smooth and one-to-one here.
Okay, so for $10, for you specifically, Alex, how much time would you need in a game to make a $10 purchase worth it?
$10 doesn't get you a lot these days. $10 is less than a movie, and that's less than 2 hours of entertainment typically. For $10,
that's a complete crapshoot. You go to a movie and it could totally suck.
So, there's a lot of good stuff we can get on the PlayStation store for $10. Sometimes you get Dirt Rally for $10. So it's kind of hard to say that stuff. Here's the deal. This game has 3 levels, and each level is maybe 30 minutes long. Now, there's incentive to go back and try to get a high score. There's a platinum trophy. You get trophies for shooting the heads off of every enemy in the level or shooting the arms off every enemy in the level, things like that. So there's a lot of replay value if you're one of those score chasers and you want to get the high score and get all the trophies. But there's only 3 levels, and they're not terribly long. So asking for more than $10 is going to be impossible. It's a game you're going to have a fun evening, maybe 2 fun evenings with, and then, of course, you have friends come over, they can play it too. I think it's definitely worth the price of admission, though. $10, you have a good, solid evening playing through these levels, passing the headset and controller around. You won't be disappointed.
Okay, fair enough. And so, at this point, you mentioned, should we buy it at 10, or do you think we should wait for a sale? It definitely doesn't sound like we should avoid it.
No, it's not an avoid, and the buy or wait for a sale hinges entirely on how you feel about this pseudo wave shooter type thing. I know the Western theme is kind of exhausted, it seems like. And we had Guns and Stories, we had Hop Along Badlands, we have Old Iron.
I think it only is exhausted because all the games we've played are just painfully average and unforgettable, or not unforgettable, forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if there was a good, I hate Arizona Sunshine. Hop Along the Badlands sucks. Cold Iron, I think, is unique, and it's my favorite of them. But, I mean, it's not a game you're going to rave about. Can someone make just a straight-up baller, awesome Western?
Like Red Dead Redemption or something, but in VR? Yeah, I know what you're wanting.
It's such a good thing. It's such a good idea, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so I haven't played all these games that you have, Adam, so I'm not exhausted by the theme of pseudo wave shooters in a Western theme. I really enjoyed this. I think it's well worth the $9.99, so that's a buy for me. And if it drops down to like $7.99, yeah, give it a shot, man. 3 levels, you got nothing to lose, and it's just really fun. It just freaking works, man. Sometimes when a game just freaking works, you just have a good ass time with it for a night, and then you don't got to worry about it.
All right, sounds good. Well, so the next game we want to talk about, which a lot of you is probably surprised that this is not our Power A play of the week, is Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. Or maybe you know a little bit about the game, and that's probably why it's not the Power A play of the week. So I was excited to play this game. I pre-ordered it months ago, and so the first thing you got to do, Alex, is to put the game inside the PlayStation. Especially, I purchased it physical, so when you do have a physical version, that's the first thing you got to do. So I walked over to my PlayStation, and I popped out. I think I had Astrobot. I had the disc still in there, so I took Astrobot out, and then I put a piece of bologna in my PS4. Because when I went to my mailbox, because I ordered it on Target, it wasn't there. It wasn't there. You want to know why? I pre-ordered this stupid thing months ago. Do you remember? We did the same thing, Alex. There was a buy one, get one half off sale at Target. And I was like, boom. Everybody's golf. Boom. Wolfenstein. I know. You guys have heard this before. Have they heard it before, Alex?
They've heard it, and they've loved it, and we're going to tell them again, man.
Here's the thing. I am incensed. You are so stupid. F you, Target. Okay, so you guys already know what happened. I didn't get the game. I didn't get it. It says it's back-ordered. I don't know how a game that you pre-ordered months ago is back-ordered. That's why you pre-order it. It's why you have pre-orders. So it's like, boom, dude pre-ordered it. He gets the game. Everyone's out here playing this friggin' trashy game. Yeah, I know it's bad. Yeah, I know it's only 3 missions. Yeah, I know it's short. Yeah, I know it's not good. But you know what I paid for and I want it. I'm supposed to be sitting and reviewing games that can't review tits because we don't have the freaking game because of Target. So F you, Target. I talked crap about them again on Twitter. They tried to make up for it. F you guys. Only thing you can make up for is my sadness, my disappointment, and my despair. And that's why we are going to run a little special. We're going to hand out some codes. Right now, we want to do the hashtag FTarget. EFF Target. You don't actually have to, drop the F-bomb and say Target. Yeah, EFF Target. Hashtag FTarget. If you tell us, I would ideally you tweet it. You tweet at us, hashtag FTarget. You can say what you don't like about Target. You can talk about how ugly they are. You can talk about a bad experience. You could don't even say anything. You just say hashtag FTarget at PlayPSVR. You'll be in a running. We've got Saber codes. We've got Telefrag codes. We've got Monkey King. We've got a ton of codes that we can give out, 17 of them to be exact. We won't give all those out. But people who use hashtag FTarget, heck, do at Target too, because I want them to know we're mad that we're sending everyone out at them. Then you will be in the running. We'll probably give 2 or 3 codes out and a free game, guys. You can get Saber VR for free, which we're going to do an interview with the devs next week. That's why we're not talking about that game this week. But you can Telefrag for free. That's like a free $25 we're giving to you, Jim. Listen, FTarget, hashtag FTarget, make my day. Make me help them realize how bad they suck.
Here's the thing. You called out Target again. They don't do this for me. I don't know what magic you have, Adam. You called out Target again for this, and right away, bam, at Ask Target comes at you and is like, hey, we're sorry you're having a problem. Will you please contact us via DMs? They try to take you straight to DMs, get you off of the feed, man. They don't want people seeing your complaints. And so you went straight into the DMs. You said, hey, here's my problem. Here's my order number. Fix it. And they straight up ghosted you. They ghosted you, man. So
Yeah.
here's the deal. Hashtag F target. Hashtag F ask target. Here's the thing. They can silence us. What happened last time? Didn't they have like a blackout because we did the hashtag F target so hard? They don't know who they're messing with, man.
Hashtag F target?
No, we had something going on. We talked about it on a podcast. I can't remember what happened. They got ruined last time. We're going to ruin them again, man. We aren't joking around, Target. It's over. No more pre-orders. No more PlayPSVR business, man. You are the what's the opposite of the Power A Play of the Week?
You are the dump hole rectum shover.
Dump hole rectum shover. That's very eloquent, Adam. You should be a writer. That's fantastic.
Hey, listen, you are messing with the #1 podcast in America. We're coming at you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No,
iTunes.
It may be #1 podcast in America about PSVR that starts with the word P, but still, that's #1.
Still, #1 somewhere, baby. #1, we're dropping a #2 on you. All right.
Speaking of that, we're going to end the segment. We're coming back with Anshar Studios, Telefrag VR. We had some questions for them, the hard-hit questions you can't ask yourself because you don't run a podcast. Stay with us. We'll see you on the other side of the break. This is segment 2 of PlayPSVR podcast, and we are talking with Anshar Studios. Well, we talked with them, and now Alex and I are going to have a little role-playing session. Are you feeling Polish, Alex?
Yeah, this is kind of kinky, Adam. Me and Adam are role-playing on the podcast late at night. This is how professional our outfit is we can't even figure out how to do a proper interview. I apologize, Anshar. We wanted to interview you guys. It's difficult. We got busy schedules, so thank you for working with us. Here's how it's going to work. Adam's going to read a question, and me with my beautiful radio voice, I'm going to try to provide the answers and give you guys the respect and dignity you deserve, Anshar. I'm going to embody your studio and read your answers on the podcast. I hope that's okay with you.
And then we'll probably have a little discussion along each one of these as well, and then we'll just keep chugging through. So first question I have for you, this is just – I've never done this, and it's a little weird. It's like I'm talking to you, but it's not. It's a little weird, and so it's going to,
Here we go. I'm a game developer. I'm Anshar Studios. Here we go.
We have to hit it. Okay. What did you learn from your experience with Detached? Because we all love that, and we want more of it. We got more of it, but what did you learn?
Well, Adam, first of all, we learned humility. When we started working on Detached, VR technology was something new. And while we had previous experience in creating games, the attempt to copy space exploration through VR was a big challenge. It's not only about levels, mechanics, but also nausea and general discomfort during the game. VR requires focusing on the physiological comfort of the player, not just his overall satisfaction with the game. So what we brought from Detached is how to combine interesting, engaging, immersive gameplay with the limitations of the human body into one cohesive whole.
And I will admit, so playing Telefrag, the movement, I understand Detached was awesome because you were floating in space and it did make some people sick, but I like Telefrags much better. I don't remember there being blinders at all, or if there was, maybe there was a little vignette and you could take that off. Once you took the smooth turning, you enabled that, and you made it as fast as possible. Like, it was really fun. It wasn't nausea-inducing whatsoever, and it was just really fun because I like those games that really enhances the fast-paced nature of the game because you really are sprinting the entire time. I really do feel like I can manipulate the character as fast as my skill allows. So if I can teleport, the 4 different lands and platforms, like in my mind and cohesively know what I'm doing, the game is fast enough to allow me to do that. Not all games are like that.
So this is me speaking as Alex, but Adam, yeah, it's good to hear that because that was the thing with Detached is when we saw trailers, everybody was like, oh, wow, this is going to make me puke. And I didn't have a problem with it. I thought, the game had a lot of comfort settings. And for a 0G space exploration, really floaty, high, fast-paced game when you got down to it, they really pulled it off, making it, decreasing the nausea. And it sounds like Telefrag then they took that knowledge and pushed forward with it and really made something that you could move quickly without getting sick. So kudos to them on that. That's really impressive that they're able to overcome the nausea factor.
Yeah, I think probably Detached was a bigger feat, because in Detached you could roll backwards and you were in space, and it had that weightlessness feel to it. Whereas Telefrag is more like two-dimensional. You're not doing any flips in air. Although, yeah, you can teleport to different platforms very quickly. I feel like that doesn't make you as sick, or doesn't trick your mind into getting motion sick, as actually like turning and things of that nature. But Telefrag didn't make me sick. Detached didn't make me sick. If Detached had the same speed as Telefrag, I think I would like it better, actually. But, Okay, next question. So this, you mentioned it a little earlier, Alex, because I don't know what any of this Quake or any of that stuff was. But does Telefrag share anything? Oh, this is the wrong question, so never mind. Does Telefrag share anything from that game, i.e., Detached?
Yeah.
What type of game is Telefrag?
First of all, our much better understanding the needs of the players. That is why in Telefrag VR, we focused very much on making the player's movement comfortable, readable, and at the same time fitting in with the main assumptions of the project. Telefrag VR is a very dynamic arena shooter with the clear DNA of classic FPS games. The genesis of this project was a question we asked ourselves: are we able to create a dynamic FPS in VR? So, Adam, did they make a dynamic first-person shooter in VR? Do you think they accomplished that goal at least?
Oh, I definitely think so. And literally the only thing I could say, real negatives, it's blurrier than Detached is, and it's only 1v1. Other than that, it's super dynamic. I already talked about how fast-paced it is and how fun it was. And I liked all of the fact that each gun has its own like rockets and ammunition, and each gun has different types of teleporters. Like, it's not just teleporting. There's some strategy built in where some of them drop, I don't know really what it is, something that can give you health and then you could teleport. Some is just a straight teleport. Another one you can guide. It's like a big blob that you guide, and wherever it makes contact with either a wall, an enemy, a platform, it teleports you there. So they added strategy into this arena shooter, as they're mentioning. I think, like I said, I love the gameplay. Gameplay's fast-paced, fun. I love it. So, yeah, I'm a big fan. So, how have you in Telefrag handled the controls, since first-person shooter games need to be creative with the move controllers, and we've seen other games fail, whereas you succeeded?
Adam, I'll be honest, it was a challenge, but we decided it was also a chance. That's why in Telefrag VR, players have 2 weapons at their disposal, and each of them has an alternative shot mode. We also decided on intuitive solutions in terms of just moving around and looking around. We have one goal all the time: how best to express the experience of classic FPS games in VR. Tests have shown that players quickly learn the basics and, especially, start experimenting with weapons. So, what kind of a weapons do they have in the game, Adam? I don't know the full details of it. Is it the basic stuff like rocket launchers and shotguns and stuff like that? Or do they have a wider variety than I'm anticipating?
Yeah, no. I think there's 6 different guns, but it's nothing that's the common gun you're going to hear of. It's like flak cannon, whatever that is.
That's like a shotgun, yeah.
Okay, plasma rifles.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little fancier, and they each have different bullets that do different things. Some of them bounce, some of them penetrate more, some of them just do more damage. And then, as I mentioned, some of the guns have different teleporters, which teleport you in different ways, so it adds strategy there.
Can you mix and match?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one thing I do like, and each gun has a different mode too, which is cool. So
yeah,
a lot of variety in what guns you use and how you use them to match your specific gameplay and just how you play the game. Also, as I mentioned, this reminds me so much of Doom VFR because it really feels like it. But one thing they did much better is that Doom VFR, if you remember using move controllers, it sucked. It sucked bad. It was not it wasn't even really immersive. It wasn't good. But here, the tracking works wonderfully. Having two guns is really cool. So it's better than Doom because it's almost they took what Doom VFR did and enhanced it. So that's awesome. And I think with the controls, they nailed that for a first-person shooter. Like, if you lose, it's because you are not skilled enough. The game doesn't cheat you in any way. So that's awesome. Next question. Any hope for more content related to Detached? Because it's such a fan favorite, and it's made people's favorite games, in all honesty.
At the moment, we're mainly focused on Telefrag VR, but we have an idea how to inject some Detached vibes to the game. If something happens in this matter, I'm sure you will hear about it. We think it would be a cool wink to the Detached fans. So, Adam, I don't know if you like Detached as much as me. Detached is one of my favorite PSVR games. It's something I've wanted to do in VR my whole life. My whole life is float in space, and Detached made it feel real and awesome. So, I hope that this game gets the success it needs so that I can get a little wink to Detached. I just want as much Detached as I can possibly get. What do you think that would be if they added something that would be a cool wink to the fans of Detached? Do you think there'd be some kind of booster you could pick up and float around in the arena?
I mean, I think it's easy. It's very easy to add a patch to a game and add a level that either maybe is a space station or something. The way you teleport, obviously, that opens up a lot of opportunities. So you could be in space. You don't necessarily have to have the weightlessness like you do in Detached because you can now teleport. But you can teleport into different platforms that are in space, kind of like in Detached that you saw. And I think, I mean, as you questioned a little earlier, I like Telefrag more than I like Detached. I know that's probably odd. You're probably not going to hear that very much from others. I thought Detached, personally for me, was just a little slow. I didn't like the nature in which you kind of just roamed around. I didn't feel motivation to explore everything. I was just like, okay, let's do what needs to be done. But in Telefrag, a lot more fast-paced. I have one goal in mind, shoot your face off and Telefrag into it. And I enjoy the gameplay more. So it's kind of nice how you definitely enjoy Detached more. I like Telefrag more. But, yeah, the cool wink to Detached. Only thing I can really think of are levels that remind you of Detached or things of that nature.
Hearing you describe the game makes me think they could really do that because, Detached, you have like this broken apart space station where you have these different platforms kind of strewn about, and you could imagine yourself teleporting from platform to platform in a level that would be really cool. And you're out in space, and it's awesome. That'd be fun.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it doesn't necessarily match the levels that they've created in Telefrag thus far because the levels now are more kind of ancient Greece kind of like, and they're broken up but modernized. They're awesome, but they don't have to be all the same style, obviously. So I think that would be the wink, I would imagine. I can't think of anything else. I'm trying to think things that would match with Detached. Like, are there any specific guns maybe in Detached that I'm forgetting about?
Not really many guns in Detached. No, I mean you had like missiles that you could knock something out with, but not really guns.
And you were in a spacesuit, right?
Yeah, you're in a spacesuit.
So I mean, you can't play Telefrag in a spacesuit. I mean, unless they were trying to be somewhat comical, I guess they could.
Can you wink, Adam? Do you know how to wink?
Like Inhuman?
Yeah, Inhuman. What do you mean Inhuman?
I don't know what.
Like wink.
Like.
Some people can't wink. Okay, you can do it. Whatever.
Yeah, I can wink. Yeah.
All right. Just curious, man. Just trying to get to know you better. Okay, next question.
There it is. You're so weird. Oh, okay. So Telefrag, this is a question I was thinking of beforehand. My apologies. Telefrag reminds me of a classic deathmatch arena game. This question was from Alex because I don't know what any of these are. And are there any developer favorites that inspired Telefrag?
Oh, yes. We're big fans of Quake, Doom, and Unreal Tournament. Each of these games was very inspiring for us when creating Telefrag VR. Adam, you've never played Quake. You've played Doom VFR. You probably haven't played Unreal Tournament. It's a shame that we're having you review this game. But yeah, this is a staple of the video game multiplayer library. Genre, yeah. But these games all have multiple players like in a game at once rather than just 1v1. I don't know. Maybe do the levels seem appropriately sized for 1v1 in Telefrag VR?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's definitely plenty of room to meander around. And the thing is, I think there's a trade-off between you don't want levels too big, but you don't want them too small, especially if you start adding more people. So if this was a 3v3, the levels would probably be too small. You would immediately run into, other enemies. Now, you could argue, I mean, kind of that's what I want. That's what I liked about Honor and Duty and some of the other multiplayer shooters, because you jump in there and it's like, boom, here's people, let's shoot them, let's do your thing. Whereas Space Junkies, as you know, has a lot more room in the levels, and there is that suspense in that you don't immediately find an enemy, and so it builds some excitement because you're like, where they're at, are they behind me? Like, it adds something to it. So I think it's definitely appropriately sized for 1v1. And I've been referencing Doom VFR this whole time, so it's almost certain that they looked at that game, how that game interacted with the player, how the controls work, how the movement works. I don't know anything about Quake or Unreal Tournament. I don't even know were those PlayStation games?
They were PC games, PlayStation. There were some N64 versions that, they've had multiple iterations.
Or are those like 1v1 or like what's going on with those?
No, they're like 8v8, 10v10, stuff like that.
Oh.
Sometimes they're every man for themselves, just like 16 people running around and killing each other.
Maybe they'll add a patch and there'll be some more.
That's what I'm hoping, man. That's what I'm
hoping.
Dude,
that would be baller. Okay, so that gives me more hope. Of course, we're totally reading into that, and that's a disadvantage of not having someone from Anshar here, I suppose, is the fact that I could just straight up have asked them that. But that's why we should move. We should move over to Poland or somewhere in Europe, Alex. How about that? You and me will move to Europe. That's where all the cool VR cats are.
We'll finally get codes for games then.
Yeah, perp games. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm ashamed I didn't start with this. I don't know what the F I'm thinking. I almost ate myself here. So I want to know what your favorite gamer juice is. And so obviously we were talking with one person, but I want to know what they're from Anshar Studios. What was that particular person's favorite gamer juice?
So I don't know if this was Jacob or Simon, the person we were talking to. They answered for themselves. They said whiskey with ice, but only on Friday evening, and during the week, lemonade. So I think, that might be true for a lot of the people there. So we've had multiple guests on here that drink whiskey as their gamer juice. So I think it's a popular gamer juice choice.
It's a little heavy for me. But that's all right. Also, lemonade, you got to add some iced tea in there, man, or make it hard or something. Lemonade is good, though. It's refreshing.
During the week, Adam, we got to keep ourselves in tip-top shape during the week, so we just drink normal soft lemonade.
That's fair. Lemonade's a good drink. I think it's one of the more underrated.
It's a fruit juice. It's fruit on the fruit pyramid.
Absolutely. A lot of acidity that helps the pH balance in your gut. And
I'm sure it helps your prostate, Adam, like everything else you think helps your prostate.
No. Okay, so the next is a favorite non-Anshar PSVR game. This is a good one, and I like this.
Yeah, so they said, it's hard to comment for 70 people, but we remember very well The Wizards, Super Hot VR, Beat Saber, and Farpoint. So, Adam, which one of those is your favorite out of that list?
Oh boy, I haven't even talked about Beat Saber yet. They dropped a nice
Save it for next segment, man.
They dropped a heaping one on me this week. Let's see. This is close, dude. This is. They picked some good games. They picked some good ones.
I think it's got to be Farpoint, man. That's such a classic game, man.
I thought about it. I think I gotta go Super Hot. I mean, Super Hot is just the quintessential VR game. It's the game that makes everybody. Alex, I promise you, I hook you up in Super Hot right now, and you play it right here on the podcast, and you're gonna be like, oh, like it's gonna hit you again. This is why VR is incredible. which I know Farpoint can do it too, but Super Hot is just so direct in why VR is amazing. So they picked some great games. Yeah, I would probably rank them Super Hot. Dang, Beat Saber is so good though too.
I guess you don't have to rank them, Adam. I just wanted you to comment on their choice of games. Yeah, I think this is a good list of games. They're obviously inspired by quality games. So yeah.
And the thing is, I like the fact that they've played PSVR games. You know, like maybe it is something common for developers to play on the console. I honestly don't know, but I know that they're probably working on Oculus and HTC and PSVR, and they probably have a lot of other platforms they're working on. And so it would be very easy to play PSVR enough just to know kind of how the console works, but that's it. But the fact they played these games, it's a wide assortment of games. It's kind of nice knowing that they themselves too are VR fans.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm happy that they're playing. Of course, yeah, they're making games for Oculus and stuff, like you said. I'm happy that they're also experiencing the quality that we have on PSVR, and they're adding to that quality.
No doubt. So our final question is, what are you hoping to see in the future of VR gaming in general?
More narrative games, interesting worlds to explore, and even more interaction. So here we go. Here's the thing. These guys, they saw a problem, kind of like what's that company, Servios. They saw a problem that they wanted to solve with nausea. They solved a problem they wanted to solve with fast-paced, frenetic gameplay. And so I hope they can kind of weave these things together. I would love to see a more narrative-focused game, a more narrative-focused version of Detached. So you have the gameplay of Detached, but you have a really strong story back behind it, or maybe more interaction behind it. I would love that. So, I mean, they're looking for the same thing that I'm looking for. They've got the mechanics down pat, it seems like. So I'm also looking forward to more narrative games. Adam, what do you want to see more of in VR gaming?
I want more unique experiences. As I mentioned earlier, like the Western shooters, like I'm just sick of wave shooters. The thing that separates for me a game and how much I enjoy the game is how unique it is. Like Astrobot is different. It makes you interact with Astrobot differently. To the Top, there is still nothing like To the Top on PSVR. Resident Evil 7 is just so terrifying. Beat Saber. There are other rhythm games, but they suck. This one's, Beat Saber is awesome. The fact that it's unique, like Detached is the best space exploration game we got on PSVR. They nailed everything about it. Telefrag. I love the way that it's 1v1 and how you interact and how you can hide and stealth and jump and teleport between the levels. Like the ideas Anshar is coming out with are fantastic. That's why I look for in a game, not necessarily something that, I mean, yeah, you can make a good wave shooter, but that's never going to make me love VR. I'm gonna be like, okay, it's another wave shooter. But when you do something special, it kind of takes you back. That is the first thing I look for when I look for quality in a PSVR game. So I'm guessing you're probably going to have something like you like cute little characters that warm your heart, or you like it when you don't have to.
I like busty anime chicks in my VR games. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, it's like I said, man. More narrative games. That's what I'm looking for. The interesting. They hit the nail on the head. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Anyways, that is it for our interview with Anshar Studios. I want to thank them very much for accommodating us. I know it's kind of a weird request, and we just like getting things out there, talking to the devs as much as we can. If you're interested in Telefrag VR, I highly recommend you look out for it. It's out there on Oculus and Steam VR as well, if you're so inclined. But of course, this is PlayPSVR, the podcast. So thank you.
Remember, #FTarget will get you in the running for a free Telefrag code.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So thank you, Anshar Studios, for accommodating us, and thank you, listeners, for enjoying the interview that we just did. And we will see you after the break for segment 3.
No, I'm not even done.
Well, you got more to say? Oh, that's right.
I have a question. I got a question. And I do appreciate Anshar Studios and how great you guys are. You said Simon. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. Seisman? Szymon. How do you pronounce that?
I went with Simon, man. Simon.
Sisman? I don't know. Whatever your name is, thank you very much. And Jacob, that one I can pronounce. Both those guys are very instrumental in talking with us and doing the interview. So we appreciate both of you very much. Thank you for that. Alex, this isn't necessarily Anshar related. Actually, I think it's a freaking travesty is what I think it is. And I don't understand it, and that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention since we have a little extra time here, is on Tuesday when I opened up Telefrag, I went on Reddit to see if, people post up like, hey, I'm going to play this game at this time so I could be sure I could play with someone online. And I found several posts that were seemingly like immediate dismissals of the game. And the reason why I think it's a travesty is I don't understand how people decide what game is worth it and which one is not. So, for example, there were some posts that said, oh, I saw that's 1v1, totally not interested. Oh, I saw it was $25, not buying that. I saw the graphics were a bit blurry. No way. And I'm like, why are those the things? I don't understand why immediately. The game wasn't even out a day yet, and people were like, no, I'm not buying it. It's not worth it. I'm not, I'm just straight up not going to play it. And I sat there and I was like, first of all, this wasn't an overly hyped game necessarily. We didn't have reviews out a week before, so it's not like they had seen reviews or they had seen gameplay. It's like they watched the preview or something, and they were like, I'm not playing it. I don't understand why. Because the game, I love the gameplay. I don't understand, and people still play Spark. Spark's horrible. Like, what is it about games, do you think, that people decide on a whim? They wasted more money on horrible games. Spark! People say Spark! I don't understand. What's your thought here?
I think the people saying that kind of stuff are the people who aren't going to buy the game to begin with. And they're just trying to make themselves feel like they have a reason for not purchasing the game. I don't know. It's really disappointing. You're right. The whole judging a book by its cover is frustrating, especially in video games, especially in multiplayer video games where, if Telefrag VR had a healthy community behind it, then it would be a game everybody wants to play because the gameplay sounds like it's solid. It sounds like it's good and it's all there. Just like some of these other games that come out, like I said, Mech Mayhem. It's a game. It's real solid. I wish there was a community behind it playing it because I would love to play against people. It's really fun. There's just nobody to play against, and the bots aren't that smart. So, yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, I had similar feelings when GoldenEye 64 came out. I was like, oh, that game doesn't look that great. Oh, the controls look kind of weird. Oh, the game looks kind of slow-paced. I don't want to play it. And then I finally got my hands on it, and it's like one of my favorite games of all time. So it seemed, especially in VR, it seems silly to me that people will discount a game based off superficial things like, oh, it's kind of blurry. I can understand the $25 price point. And that combined with 1v1 makes it seem kind of like a hard sell, honestly. But wait for reviews at least. Watch some footage, and goodness, I hope they can figure out something to get more people into playing this game. Maybe a demo. Do the Megalith thing. I don't know how that worked out for Megalith, but do like a free demo or a free weekend or something like that, just to get people.
That's playing. The thing I don't understand. People are wasting money on Megalith, which it sucks. They waste money on Tetris Effect. That's not multiplayer. That's only one person, and it's a freaking game you've been playing since the 70s. Like, I don't understand it. And it bothers me because, especially in VR in the infancy that's in, I don't know, it just worries me. Because if people are that quick to react and they don't play games, and so say Telefrag isn't nearly as successful as they thought, all because right off the friggin' bat, there was a group of people who were like, we're not playing. So then all of those other people who haven't decided or were on the fence are like, oh, or there's this huge, we're seeing posts on how people aren't going to play. So no, I'm not going to buy it. Maybe that convinces Anshar next time, why don't they don't make a VR game? Because they're like, profits aren't there and VR is awesome. Like, I know it's a business. Like, you got to make these. So, I don't know. It kind of worries me in a way. I still think VR is obviously the future. But it would be nice if there was, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say it. or something. Like I don't know.
It's funny. It's funny coming from you, Adam, of all people. Don't have anything nice to say. Don't say it, Mister
Well, I
Negativity. We're about to go through a huge list of sales. You're going to trash on half these games you've never even seen before.
Oh yeah, but we review the games. I don't go. It's different. Okay, so now at this point, I think we can go on to segment 3. Thanks again to Anshar Studios. Thanks for all of you who are continuing with us. Next segment, we don't got any upcoming games, but we do have some sales, and we always have some fun banter. So stick with us. One segment to go. Here we are. We're at segment 3. Segment 3. Segment 3. We got some sales, and I hate the new Beat Saber songs.
Adam, tell me about the new Beat Saber songs. You have been complaining to me online on the internet about the Beat Saber songs. What are they? Were they free? Did you have to pay money again?
Here's the thing. It's like, first of all, they are free. There's three free ones. And imagine this. I went to the zoo, okay? I went to the zoo. I'm not a pedophile. I wasn't looking at the little kitties. I was looking at the animals. I stick my hand in, grab a puffer fish, tranquilize it, stick it up my anus. It wakes up. It's scared. It puffs out. At the same time, I go over to an anteater. I bend down. And you know how when people work on your cars, they get on those flat things with wheels and slide underneath the car so they could work on the undercarriage? I do that to the rectum of the anteater, and I start sucking on it. That is what this new Beat Saber song, 3 songs, they're real bad. First one, I was able to fight through. Second one, it was like over 5 minutes long. I made it to like, I don't know, minute 4 or something, and I lost. And then the third one, I couldn't even make it through because I was like, this is so bad. I intentionally lost to end the pain and agony. And then not only are the songs bad, but here's the thing. They are intentionally adding songs and making them way more difficult than they originally, like the original songs were. So I have multiple issues. One, I understand that you use probably your best songs right off the bat, right? Like you want to get a fan base, you're going to use the best songs. I know there's only so many perfect songs out there. That's fine. I understand that. But, I mean, come on, guys. You got to do better than this. Imagine Dragons and whatever this is. It's horrible. I don't know anyone who likes these songs. And 3, you have easy, medium, expert, or hard, expert, and expert plus. You have 5 different difficulties. There's no freaking reason to make hard as difficult as everyone else's expert. Stay in your effing lane, dude. You can't finish the freaking modes. Playing an expert in the latest songs is like expert plus in the original soundtrack. It's stupid. You have different difficulties. Don't add levels and songs and make them intentionally harder. That's why you have expert plus. It's stupid. And stop it with this stupid way that you determine scores. I changed my setup and I score like probably 30% more points only because my freaking camera's higher. It's stupid. How will you hit the effing block and you get a point? That is how it should go. F you. But with that being said, I played some of the earlier songs and it's so good. When the songs are good, it's such a good game. So continue playing. I don't know why you don't like it, Alex. You're stupid.
So
the sales.
How many free songs have they released now? There's that like League of Legends song, and then there's these 3 new songs, and then was Imagine Dragons free?
No, Imagine Dragons was a song pack. The Monster Scat, that was a song pack. They also dropped Crab Rave on us. That was free.
Okay, that was free. So that's 4 free songs, 5 free new songs so far. There's
at least 4. I would have to look back on it to give a hard number, but
that's nice.
They gave you a decent amount of free songs. Unfortunately, Crab Rave is an awesome song. It's way too difficult, again, because they ramped up the difficulty for no freaking reason, but it's an awesome song. These 3 I weren't a fan of. Monster Scat, I think, had like 2 songs I really enjoyed, maybe 3, but some of them were bad. And I don't like Imagine Dragons enough to pay $10 for it. So.
All right, on to the sales, Adam. On to the sales. All right, Adam. Right off the bat, ATV Drift Tricks and ATV Drift and Tricks Definitive Edition for $4.99.
Got a anteater anus in your mouth?
Yeah, I do. I have a pufferfish in my butt. That's what you were talking about, right?
That's right. But what I don't have in my hand is an ATV Drift and Tricks.
Here's the thing: if this is a VR only game, maybe that's not a great deal. If this is like a fully fledged flat game with a VR mode, $4.99 might not be a bad price for like a decent ATV game. I might look into it.
Why would you get that if there's Dirt Rally?
Good point. Maybe I like motorcycles more. I don't know. Where I live, it's free. It's legal to ride 4-wheelers on the road. So maybe I want to live that lifestyle. I don't know. Anyways, Adam, Motor Racer 4 Deluxe Edition for $11.99.
No.
What if we took away all the deluxe stuff and just made it Motor Racer 4 for $7.99?
Oh, no.
Carnival Games VR for $4.99.
What games?
Carnival Games.
Dude, I will never tell you to buy Carnival Games unless...
So it's got like a climbing mini game that I saw somebody play, and it looked kind of fun.
Dude,
it looked like there might be. I think the archery is supposed to be good too.
There was this is bad. I forgot. Oh no, I played like a somewhat of a carnival type game VR. Dang it, what was it? It wasn't Pure Head. It was the other one. And
yeah.
Dang, I feel bad that I don't remember that game.
Summer something.
Yeah, Summer Funland.
There we go. Yeah.
And that had a climbing game, so get that game instead.
Oh yeah, that looked actually pretty fun. The climbing was. Tekken 7 for $14.99.
Ticket 7?
Tekken 7. Come on.
Oh, dude. I know. No.
Static for $5.99.
Oh, and please, just come on, just buy the game. It's worth it for $20, and you're over here at $6. Buy this game. It's one of the best you're gonna play.
PlayStation VR Worlds for $4.49.
You know, as a seasoned VR vet, I purchased the game, and I just found it not that great.
Did you play Scavenger's Odyssey?
Yeah.
No, you didn't. What is Scavenger's Odyssey, Adam?
Is that not the sea one?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's Ocean Descent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You didn't play Scavenger's Odyssey. It's when you're in like a robot mech suit and you're jumping from asteroid to asteroid. It is awesome. And then there's like the London Heist demo, more or less.
Okay, yeah, London Heist. But then the other game I forgot was bad.
Luge? Who cares? You got like 3 good quality demos for $4.49. It's definitely worth it.
It's only worth it if there's going to be people that you're going to show VR.
And of course you're going to.
Hopefully.
Merville's a VR adventure for $5.99.
No.
Time Machine VR for $10.49.
Nope.
Arizona Sunshine for $13.99.
I mean, I didn't like it. I think probably if you're into those type of games, it's probably worth the price, though.
Riggs Mechanized Combat League for $6.99.
Wasn't this free?
It was free at some point, but now, Adam, here's a good question I have for you. Telefrag VR or Riggs? Which one do you think deserves the attention of the PSVR community as the de facto first-person arena shooter?
Well, Riggs definitely doesn't have an online following.
I think it still does, actually. Okay, anyways, say you could make everybody who's playing online shooters, online VR shooters, make them all play the same game. Would you make them play Telefrag or would you make them play Riggs?
I'm assuming you're going to say Telefrag has more than 1v1, right?
No, I'm just saying right now, these two games.
Right now?
Yeah, these two games.
Because Telefrag's only 1v1, I'm going to have to say Riggs.
What's different with Riggs? Because they have like 3v3?
And there's different game modes. Like some of them you grab a football, some of them you just
some of it's deathmatch.
Yeah.
We should play Riggs sometime. It's a fun game. That's a good price if you don't have it. Adam, Here They Lie for $6.99.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably
people love this game. It was also free at some point. Still haven't touched it because I'm a jerk like that. Adam, Kona VR bundle for $7.99. This is like a scary adventure game. Adam, are you thinking about getting this?
I don't know what it is. I know it was really expensive at one point, and I wasn't going to pay that price, but I don't know. Maybe I should look into it.
Look up some trailers. See if I think it might have needed a patch. I don't know if it came or not. Look up some trailers. It might be your jam. Thumper for $7.99.
Yes.
Raw data for $15.99.
I looked at this. I know it's a good game. It's Servio's game, but it didn't really seem like my jam. So
It's
I've
a
kind
wave
of
shooter.
avoided it.
It's a wave shooter.
Yeah, but I think if you're open to that, I mean, you can't do better than Servio.
It's a wave shooter with the levels are kind of big and it's got really good production values. It's a pretty cool game. I think it's worth that. Infinite Mini Golf for $5.99.
I just buy everybody's golf.
Okay, but it's not $5.99. Tumble VR for $3.99. I say yes. This is a fun block building game. It's like puzzle, and you got to set. It's like Jenga in VR with weird goals. It's really cool. I think. Waddle Home for $4.99.
No.
Am I reading this right? The Exorcist Legion VR for $3.49.
It's probably one chapter of it.
I'm looking this up right now. Adam, would you? Is it just one chapter? I don't. Take me to the store website, okay?
But if it is the entire thing, I would probably do that. I mean, I've heard decent things, but the thing is, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the YouTube people, they amp it up. Like it's really not that scary, but because they want views, they jump scare and they play it up. But
this is confusing. Everything else is called Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, but this one is just called Exorcist Legion VR. So I'm guessing it's just Chapter 1 for $3.49, but it might be worth it. The entire series is $14.99. Here's what I don't get, Adam. The season pass is $24.99, but the complete series is $14.99. What is the difference? Do you have any idea?
The season must include
Season pass
seasons, I guess.
Season pass has chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Not the first one?
And the first one, I think.
Okay, good.
But the complete series I don't even know, man. This is confusing. Maybe you're not supposed to get the season pass anymore. Maybe you're just supposed to buy the complete series.
I don't know, but I tried to reach out to them multiple times, and they just ghosted me. So no.
Yeah, and because it's the Exorcist, man. You need
sponsored by Target.
Sponsored by Target. You need to exercise more to get it. Anyways, Adam, Bound with that hot pregnant chick on the beach for $9.99.
No.
Farpoint for $9.99.
Yeah. Honestly, even you should have the aim controller, but if you don't, it's still worth it.
Pixel Ripped, $19.89 for $12.49.
Ooh, this is a game I was interested in.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna get cheaper than this.
It's 4 hours long, but it's a very unique and fun and interesting and one of a kind experience. So I think it's worth it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, see, I may do it because
it's a wild ass game, man.
See, I love that. I told you what I value most is unique gameplay, and that's it. Do you think at any point it's gonna be cheaper than this?
I do not know. I do not know. If they release a sequel, they might drop the price down to $9.99. But I think this is a nice price to jump in at.
Okay.
Drive Club VR for $7.49.
It's a good one. It depends how much I like racing games. My heart still goes to Wipeout, but I think Drive Club's not too bad.
Res Infinite for
$14.99. Unleash your soul. Find your meaning in this world. Your purpose. Do it.
Your porpoise. Borderlands 2 VR, $24.99.
Dude, until there's multiplayer, I am not interested in this.
Listen, man, this has so much content. Think about a game that will take up as much time as something like Skyrim, but you're shooting guns with the aim controller. It is so good. I like it so much, and that is such a great price, $24.99. It might be the best bang for your buck on the PSVR. You're a fool for not getting it, I think, Adam.
I've seen people play Borderlands. I've seen you play this specific one, and it's not a game I think I would like. I need multiplayer.
Yeah, you're dumb like that. Guns and Stories Bulletproof VR for $9.99.
No, I don't even care. It could have been free. Don't do it. Don't waste your time.
Prison House Boss VR for $9.99.
Ooh, this needs to be cheaper for me. It kind of has got me intrigued, but it needs to be cheaper for me to pull.
Astrobot, $19.99.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole discussion I could have about this that eventually we're going to get to. I don't think it's as good as everyone thinks it is, but it is a very good game and is definitely worth $20.
The Impatient, $9.99.
Ooh, see, that's a good price point, but I mean, I know it's bad.
All right.
No.
Space Junkies, 1999.
Oh, I was like $9.99 for Space Junkies. Do it.
That's a good price.
Personally, I don't know. I bought it for $20, Space Junkies, I think, and I think I bought it for 17, and I'm like,
it's got 3v3 now. They keep adding patches. They add new weapons and stuff. What was the new? They added a bow and arrow. This game is so cool, man. Yeah, $19.99. Great price for it. Paranormal Activity: The Lost Soul for $14.99. Adam.
I need that $10 before I buy it.
Okay, Killing Floor Incursion for $10.
That's probably pretty good. Although if you want to do multiplayer, it's definitely going to crash on you.
Until Dawn: Rush of Blood for $7.49.
Oof, that hurts me because I know it was a free game, but it's probably not going to be free anymore because they're not going to have the same game as a PS Plus game. You should have this game. It's very good. It's very well done.
It's a staple of the library. Eve Valkyrie Warzone for $14.99. Adam's going to say no. I'm going to say yes. This might be the most played multiplayer game I've played.
With yourself.
I like playing with myself. No, it still has an active community, I believe. Firewall Zero Hour for $19.99.
Everything to you has an active community.
Yep. Firewall Zero Hour for $19.99.
Don't waste your time. Is it fixed? I think it is fixed.
It's fixed now. People like it still, but I got other things to play. Angry Birds VR Isle of Pigs, $8.99.
I just want to go back 1 second. Once you lose this platinum challenge, because I'm still up 7-2, you realize you're gonna have to play a whole lot of Firewall. Right?
I know, man. I'm not looking forward to it.
It's gonna be.
I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this hole, but I'm gonna start digging.
Yeah, you dig up your butt crack because there's not going to be enough there to get 5 platinums. So with Angry Birds, it's exactly what it sounds like and what you think it is. If you have kids or if you just really like shooting little birds, maybe do it. It's kind of a cool way to play it in 3D. But, I mean, I don't think it's anything special. I think majority of you should not buy this.
Creed Rise to Glory for $17.99.
Haven't played it.
That's a good price for it. Short single player, good multiplayer. Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, $8.99.
If you have people to play this with, it looks real fun.
It is pretty fun, yeah. I have a friend that bought VR stuff just for this. Doom VFR for $17.99.
I wonder if you could get it physical, though, for cheaper.
Probably. The thing is, like, $17.99, after going back and playing the game, it's really blurry, and the controls are really lacking, and there's just better stuff out there now. It's a really fun game. If you like Doom, you'll like the aesthetics and stuff like that. Go for it. I went back and played it, and it was just kind of disappointing to go back to. Anyways, Gun Club VR for $14.99.
I disagree because Doom VFR is a game that, to me, is the most fun game to speed run in VR. You can speed run it in like 2 hours. They have the Doom dolls. They have the additional Doom, old school Doom levels that you can unlock, which
That's
I know
true.
you haven't done it because you freaking suck. They have different difficulties. I think it's probably worth that. I mean, use the aim controller or the DualShock. Don't use the moves. I don't know. I've got some type of affinity for Doom VFR for some reason. I would say do it, but
what do you think is better if they were the same price? You had one choice: Farpoint or Doom VFR. Which one would you say?
See,
really, it's even that much of a question?
Farpoint definitely has the better first impression, but replay value for me, for whatever reason, I would much rather play Doom. I have a hard time going back to Farpoint.
I kind of hate you, Adam. Gun Club VR for $14.99.
Hey, you talk about Farpoint, you haven't played with J-Brat. I've played with J-Brat. I'm waiting on a video for you so we can splice them together so we can have one group or one big video of me being better than you in Farpoint.
Gun Club VR for $14.99.
Nah, we have too many other good games to waste your time on this.
Super Hot Mind is software bundles. That's a flat game and the VR game for $23.99.
Here's the thing. Go to Sony, tell them to eat a dick. You'll want the VR version only, baby, because that's the one that reigns supreme.
They're both really good, I think. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition, $29.99.
I feel like it's been cheaper.
I think it was $20 at some point. That's everything. Yeah. It's all the DLC. That's a pretty good price.
Oh, I guess with DLCs. You need Resident Evil 7. The
DLC is so scary that Adam won't even play it even though it's free.
See, Farpoint or Resident Evil 7 is another one of those games that I don't have motivation to replay it.
Because you're scared. You're a little tiny baby.
You should have this game.
Tetris Effect, $24.79.
Mother. Let me know. Wait till it goes back up to 40 so I can buy it again and be even more disappointed.
Trainer VR for $9.99.
I want to support this game. I like this game, but I mean, it just doesn't have more than 2 hours worth of it in it. I don't know.
Football Nation VR and Sports Bar VR bundle for $23.49.
No.
Moss and Soundtrack bundle for $24.49.
No, Moss didn't even have that good of music.
Okay, that's rude. Prey Digital Deluxe Edition for $27.99.
You know, I never even saw this game. I knew it came out, but I don't know.
So Prey is like a highly acclaimed first-person shooter, but that's not in VR. But they have a VR like multiplayer. It's like a VR hide-and-seek first-person shooter mode that you have to own the original game for. That's why nobody's played it, and that's why you're probably not going to find anybody playing it. That being said, I own the flat game first-person shooter. I haven't bought the VR component because it's like $7 or something. I don't know, man.
You bought the flat game? Why would you buy the flat game?
Because I heard the game's really good. I want to play it.
You don't even have time to play the games we review.
That's true. Super Hot VR for $17.49.
Yes.
Elder Scrolls VR for $44.99. Skyrim VR, sorry.
Yeah. I feel like I paid $60. I feel like you can find it cheaper online.
I think Borderlands is a better deal for $24.99 anyways, but Adam's not going to agree with me.
But okay.
Blood and Truth for $31.99. God, that's expensive.
You decide this one.
I don't know, man. This game, I just don't get on with this game. I need to go through it again when I'm not streaming or something. I don't know. It just it feels weird. Like high production values is cool. I don't know, man. I wasn't blown away by it like everybody else was.
You didn't get off.
Yeah, get off. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard for $16.99.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's it, bitch. That's all for the sales.
All right. Okay, last thing I want to mention is that I really want you guys to hashtag #FTarget. I cannot tell you how much I now dislike Target, and I need your support. I want to give you free games, but I can't just give them to you. You got to do something to earn it. #FTarget. Just hashtag #FTarget, or say something about how you dislike them or how much you like us. I don't care. Just have the hashtag and have our name in it.
You ruined our lives, Target. You ruined our lives. You ruined our podcast, and we're going to ruin yours back at you now, all right? No Wolfenstein Cyberpilot for you either, Target. How about that? You don't get any of that. Also, you don't get to listen to our podcast, so stop listening. Turn it off right now. All right. That is it. Thank you for listening to PlayPSVR, the podcast, episode 70. Thank you for sticking with us through the nastiness of episode 69. It took a lot of courage and bravery for people to listen to that, almost as much courage and bravery as it took for us to make it. I want to say thank you to Anshar Studios for accommodating us for our unorthodox and weird interview that we demanded. Thanks for sticking it with us, getting quick with the responses, even though Adam was very bad at emailing you back. And yeah, if you have comments, please, what is that? Okay. If you have comments, please send them to us. You can put it on our website, comment on the page, playpsvr.com. Send it to our email, contact@playpsvr.com. You can hit us up on Twitter. We might follow you back. We might mute you. We might block you. We might start trending if you get active enough. We are at PlayPSVR. You might get a reply from me. You might get a reply from Adam. It's a crapshoot. It's a total crapshoot. It just depends on who's got their phone handy to respond quickly enough. Or just leave a comment on YouTube. We always try to hit you back up there. And just tell all your friends about this. We're going to try to read these foreign reviews that we're just now seeing. We love all the interaction. We love all the hate. So give us some hate too. And don't forget, hashtag #FTarget. Adam, are you ready to bounce out of here?
I'm about ready to #FTarget.
You're about ready to #Target. All right. Well, for Adam, I'm Alex. Thank you for listening to Play PSVR, the podcast. Good night.